Good evening, my friend. Merry Christmas. Happy everything, whatever it is that you celebrate or celebrated. Welcome to WDW Radio Live and our final show of 2023. If you're watching live, thank you for being here. I hope you brought a snack, maybe tagged and invited a friend as we talk and recap a little bit of what happened in and to and about our WDW Radio family as we get ready to turn the page into 2022. If you're watching for the very first time, thank you for being here. Please let me know where you are watching from. Jennifer's from Toms River, New Jersey. My uncle used to live in Toms River, right by the golf course and country club. A lot of time spent in Toms River. And of course, I will have to admit that I went to Seaside Heights more than once. Zachariah Brown, always good to see you, brother. I promise we will get together in the new year. Thank you for being here, by the way. I know that the holidays are crazy, and this week in between Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year, it's like the dead zone, right? It's like this weird sort of like, it's like this fog-filled zone, like You're sort of over Christmas, but you're not because you're still in the Christmas spirit and returning stuff to Target. Not that I'm speaking for a friend. And you're getting ready for the new year. So it's like this weird, like gray area. Like you have to go to work, but you're sort of mentally not at work because a lot of other people aren't at work. So thank you for spending a little bit of time with me tonight. Tonight's going to be all about you. Elizabeth, her new dog, Nutmeg, is watching. Hello, Nutmeg. What kind of dog is Nutmeg, and whose idea was it to bring Nutmeg home? That really is. Was it a gift to you or a gift for you from you that really was for Darren, but it's you bought it really for yourself? Zach Brown says it's Cheese Week. Zach, you're too young to understand this, but it's always Cheese Week. Did you not see the photo of the charcuterie board that I shared on social the other day, which, by the way, all credit goes to my daughter. That was her idea, her design. She made it, I ate it, and that's the symbiotic relationship that we have as parent and child. Lori Oliveri, love seeing Lori and Angelo. We just got off of the Nat Geo River Cruise together. What an amazing, speaking of cheese and friends and family, that was an amazing time, which we're obviously going to recap. I promise we're going to recap the Nat Geo cruise in the new year, even like show wise. Like I didn't want to put anything. First of all, it's hard to get people together right this week around Christmas time and in between Christmas and New Year. So there's like this weird sort of. I don't want to do a show for the sake of doing a show, and then I know everybody is very busy. So I'm going to I'll do another archive show probably this week, and then we'll get back on the horse in the new. So here's a question. Because I'm thinking about doing another end of the year recap, but 2023, this is a WDW Radio recap, but sort of a Disney year in review. Do you like when I do those recap episodes, sort of looking back on the year that was and then sort of taking a little peek forward in terms of, podcasts and because I want to make sure I'm creating stuff that you actually want to hear, because I told you I do the show for you. Paula says she's from Canton, Ohio, and if you want to see the leg lamp in person, it's an hour away. You saw obviously my ornament. I have a leg lamp hanging from my tree, as I do every single year, and it's a mini schnauzer, and it is Darren's new bestie. Lori is still recovering from the river cruise. Now, I don't know if Lori got sick on the river cruise or Lori is still trying to sort of recover from a culinary perspective because of all of the good food that we ate. Zach said, made me even more upset that I was out of time. Listen, you got to come over for the charcuterie one night. Nathan, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas to you as well. It was a lot of sausage, David Turner. A lot of really good. That first day in, where were we? Were we in Budapest when it was snowing? Yeah. That was I still have to sort of decompress and get everything out of my head and onto paper somewhere from the river cruise. So, and if you missed the river cruise, don't worry. Becky's not here yet, so I can tell you we're going to do another one. Becky's not here, is she? No, it's fine. I'm not giving anything away, but if I said Summer on the Seine, just let that ruminate for a little bit. So Kendall likes recapping things. I do as well. I like looking, because I think it's important to look back so it gives you perspective and focus looking ahead. So, and Kendall, if that's you saying that you would like to recap 2023 with me, then let me know and we'll get together. And I promise it won't be a 2-hour show, 30 minutes. I say it to Kendall every time. I'm like, Kendall, this is going to be the one. It's going to be like a 30-minute show, bing, bang, in and out. And it never happens. But Kendall and I like to be very thorough in our research and in the execution, because I never want somebody to come back and say, why didn't you talk about this? So being thorough is important. Tim says, loose content is the best around. Thank you very much, man. I very much appreciate that. Jennifer says, this is one of my favorite weeks. It's cleansing week. In with the new, out with the old, starting the new year with a fresh set. Jennifer, you and I just became best friends. I'm the same way. I love to sort of purge. I go through these seasonal purges, the closet, the shelves. I'm about to tackle my closet. I just need to, I don't need that many t-shirts and stuff, like 3 sleep shirts, 10 t-shirts, a couple of dress shirts, and I'm good. I don't need all the other stuff, because we all have that stuff in there. Someday I'm going to need it. Or when I lose weight, I can fit in it again. It's all going to Goodwill. Although I went to Goodwill, my daughter loves thrifting. I took my daughter to Goodwill the other day, and I saw stuff that I donated to Goodwill at Goodwill. It wasn't clothes. It was tech stuff and mixers and stuff like that. Anyway, you didn't ask. It doesn't matter. I'm rambling, but that's okay. Kira, it is good to see you as well. Love seeing so many new. And Becky is sitting in a dentist chair waiting for the doc. I want the doctor just to come in, and there's Becky, on her Play School phone. I can imagine you with the things in your mouth, and you look like Marlon Brando, with stuff stuffed in and you're sitting there, and he's probably like, what are you watching? And why is this guy talking about cleaning out his closet? It doesn't matter. But hello, Becky Mencken, and thank you for my Christmas present, by the way, my multiple Christmas presents, none of which I can actually, that's not true. You sent me a lovely assortment of licorice in a variety of different formats. So they were delicious, and I appreciate it. So let's see. Let's just sort of quickly see who. So Lakota loves the recaps. I tend to miss stuff because life and the recaps are a great way to catch up. Good to know. I will definitely do a relatively short recap of the parks before the end of the year, and then we're going to get right into talking. We got a lot to. I'm excited for what is coming in 2024. We're obviously going to talk about our Nat Geo river cruise and a unique experience that there's a good chance you may have never tried or never thought about before. But I promise you, it is something that you will want to do. And more importantly, I really think the secret to making an incredible river cruise, an amazing river cruise, is doing it with friends. I don't think I would have enjoyed the cruise as much as I would have liked it. I don't think I would have loved it as much had we not done it as a group. So thanks to everyone who was there, and Mouse Fan Travel, blah, 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 blah. So Becky just sent me a picture. Becky, because I love and respect and appreciate you, I will not share that photo ever with anybody. But she just sent me a picture from, in fact, the dentist chair. So nobody likes being in the dentist chair. So hopefully you get in and out pretty quickly. So I can only see Lou. I can't. Oh, okay. I was worried that my audio was broken again, because it happens. Recaps get me through my daily housework. All right. So the recap will definitely happen. But tonight, I really want it to be about you individually and about us collectively as a community. Tonight's about sort of a WDW Radio year in review recap. And before we start talking about some of the things that we were able to do together and share together, and some of the experiences that I had that I was very fortunate enough to be able to bring to you and share with you, I want you to quickly tell me about your holiday, right? Whether you celebrated Hanukkah Christmas, Kwanzaa, Festivus, the spirit of the season, or just getting together with friends, I'm a giver. I prefer to give rather than receive. So I want to know, what's the best gift you gave this year? Right? I think I said this last week. I'm very uncomfortable receiving gifts, receiving help. I had a really nice Christmas. Christmas Eve was spent with my immediate family and my brother, and then Christmas Day we had friends come to the house and had a lot of fun. But I love gifting. I love surprising people with things that I think that they're going to enjoy. And then more importantly, when I hit on something and I see that somebody really enjoys it, there's no better gift. Like I got a present and my daughter gave me her seal of approval. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, this is a big deal. Not only did sort of the recipient enjoy the gift, but I've got, more importantly, a 20-year-old daughter seal of approval. So tell me what your your favorite gift, or sort of the best gift that you gave this year to somebody. There's something that I gave to my daughter, and I know that she wanted it, but I'm seeing her use it and I see her enjoy it, and that means the world to me. I surprised my son with something he didn't think that he was going to get, but it's why we work, right? For me as a parent, it's why I work the way I work. One, because I love the work, and two, it's so that I can do for and give to my family, specifically my kids, what will make them happy in the short and the long run as well. So Mark says, I'm the same way. I'd rather give than receive. Andrew Milan says, my daughter works as a nurse. Thank her, by the way. We thank military for their service. I think that needs to be extended to police, fire, healthcare workers, EMT, emergency caregivers, like nurses as well. She works as a nurse, had to work Christmas Eve night. So my wife and I took the nurses she works with dinner and dessert. That probably meant more to them than you might think. I gave my dad a subscription to my life in a book, and adopted an elephant at the Elephant Sanctuary in Tennessee. That's so nice. Bethany, that's the kind of stuff that I dig. I'm not going to cry, but I'm going to. The best thing I received was, it's this little frame, I'm going to cry, that my daughter gave me with a picture of me and her, and just there's 10 words on the back, and it's stupid and it's simple, but that was a thing that it meant more than anything. And my son gave me stuff, it's really nice. She gave me a book, and they both gave me a book that I thought that I would really enjoy. So now I'm going to make sure I make the time to actually go and sit down and read it. Tom says, I celebrated Christmas with my family via Zoom. The best gift I gave was books for my brother and my sister-in-law. Jim O'Neill, making everybody else look bad, got his wife a car. Picking it up tomorrow. What'd you get her, Jim? I'm curious. What kind of car did you get her? Jim O, wheel skins for my wife's SUV. Wheels skins. I don't know what that is. What are wheels skins? Wheel skins? I'm probably missing something. Kira says, we mostly did no physical gifts this year, and instead planned holiday outings with family multiple times throughout December. Time together is everything. Experience, I'm of the same mindset. Experiences are often, this stuff is stuff, but the memories that you make and the time that you spend together, and I'm in this, if you've watched before, I'm in this weird phase of life. I'm a very sentimental person, and now I'm finding myself even more so sitting down with my daughter over a cup of coffee for 20 minutes. We did it today. She'll never understand. We're all children. If you are a child, you are a child. But if you still have parents around, I don't care if you are 20 years old, 40 years old, or 60 years old. Spending a half hour with your mom, your dad, step parents, grandparents, whatever it is, over a cup of coffee, as long as you're not fighting or arguing over money, probably will mean more to them than you, or maybe even they, will know. That is the important stuff. I got my aunt a handmade pottery from my Italy trip. when something is a one of a kind and handmade, you're right. It is more impactful. It is special. Jennifer says, we gifted my oldest daughter her first car, much deserved, and she was so surprised. It's the gift that literally the gift that keeps on giving all years long. Michael says we did the seven fishes dinner for Christmas Eve. We did too. We added on an eighth fish, which is the sushi fish, which is just the way they celebrated in Bethlehem, those 2,000 years ago. So my sister loves gourmet popsicles. I override ones from the Hippo in Florida for her. She was ecstatic. Isn't that the best, right? Even if it's something simple like a popsicle, when you send somebody something that you know that they enjoy, right? It could be a food item, something silly or ridiculous. I'm the same way. Austin says, my wife and I are our first baby on December 21st. Congratulations. That is, what better way to celebrate your baby's first Christmas and first New Year? Like, I love it. It's the gift in our family ever that we get to keep. Just wait, Austin, because now all of a sudden you're going to be forgotten about at Christmas because it's going to be all about the baby gifts from relatives. Winter clothing, toys, and diapers to one of my employees who is adopting his grandbabies. Oh, I love that. That is beautiful. I gave my future son-in-law a real popcorn popper. Remember those of us who remember, like, I'm going to show you how old I am. Like, literally, not just before microwave popcorn, like before microwaves, period. And you had either the Jiffy Pop popcorn or you had the air popper. That long, that sort of tall, cylindrical. It was this like weird limeish green color, and you put the kernels in, and it popped out like air popped popcorn, fresh and hot. I got my husband a German Shepherd. Did he want a German Shepherd, or did you just like, surprise? Here's an obligation for you. Like, my kids want a dog, but we know it's going to be my dog, which is why I have not gotten them a dog. Karen, I love this. I gave all my siblings and my dad and myself digital photo frames. We can share pics straight from our phones. I've seen a lot of the newer ones. You don't have to worry about putting in an SD card. You can literally just upload photos to the cloud and they pop up. I wish that they had that when my mom was alive, because I'd gotten her digital frames. I spent the time sort of gathering photos together, but then it's okay, I have to now go over there or fly down there or fly up there and swap out her card, as opposed to here just are some new photos. The best gift I gave was a calendar of pictures for my mom's grandkids. Heather always makes and gives lots of cookies. Also the gift that keeps on giving. I did the pearl experience in Japan, created a necklace for my granddaughter. It's like, that's beautiful, right? Because you've got the experience, you've got the photos, you've got the memory, but you have this tangible thing that she will hopefully keep and cherish for a long, long time. Santa brought my son a trip to Disney, Megan's son, a trip to Disney in 18 days. Let's see. Took my family to Disney. My wife gifted our family a new daughter on the 15th. Congratulations, David. I love it. A Lincoln Corsair. Look at you, Jim O'Neill. You go, brother. Kendall says, I also got to decorate my parents' Christmas tree with them, and I found the crocheted angels that my great-grandmother made. It was an evening I will always remember. I love that. It's funny, I was looking at my Christmas tree a couple of days ago, and I was trying to see, we have a lot of ornaments that we've collected or have been passed down, and I was trying to find ones from my childhood. Not everything made the tree this year, but I posted a couple of photos on Facebook and Instagram of me as a kid in really, really bad 70s clothes, but I could see those ornaments on the tree, and I could remember hanging. I can remember what they felt like in my hand, because I saw them year after year as a kid, and I know my brother and I split some, and then some of them, were passed on when my mom passed. But there is something about that, right? Even if it's just one ornament that you have, that you can sort of pass on from generation to generation and year to year. Cindy says, I'm currently spending that time with my dad. I know these are treasure times. You get it, Cindy. It goes fast and they can disappear, unfortunately, too quickly. Santa gifted a Walt Disney World trip that Timmy asked for. If I only knew someone to arrange a meet to see Lou there. Darlene, tell Timmy I said hello. I've seen Timmy I think I saw Timmy at Disneyland and at, was it Destination D or D23 Expo? So when you guys come down, let me know, and I'd love to try and see Timmy on my home turf when you guys come. Jessica says, it was a tribute trip for my dad who loved family Disney vacations, cried happy tears in memory of him. I love this. Like, I love hearing, one, that I'm not the only emotional lunatic in the room, but that so many people do things that are, it's not about the thing, right? It's about this sort of the meaning behind it, and there's a meaningful aspect to what they do. Let me see. Donald Nicholson was probably very busy this time of year. It has been a while. It's good to see you, Don. Please tell Marie I said hello and belated Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. I gave my parents gift cards to the supermarket because they cook for all of us every Sunday. Like, it's practical and it's meaningful, and it shows how much you appreciate those big and expensive, right, Sunday dinners. That charcuterie board, I don't want to know what they spent on that, but it's worth it, right? We give our kids a new ornament each Christmas. At some point, they'll have a starter pack. Well, I see you around the parks next month. Yes. Speaking of next month, by the way, before I forget, last call. No, that's not it. That's not what I wanted. This is the one I wanted. This is the last call for our WDW Radio Dream Team Lunch and Auction on Saturday, January 6th. It's over marathon weekend. There's just a couple of tickets left. I'm cutting ticket sales off on Friday morning, 9 a.m. We've got to get that final number in. So if you're interested in coming, not just for the lunch, but to see and be part of the community in person. And there are some really cool items and experiences that are going to be. My guest room is full. It is full of boxes that we're going to go through this weekend and put together auction lots. Everything is going to go to Make-A-Wish. So it's a good reason to get together. It's great food at the Boardwalk Convention Center, and it all goes to a very, very good cause. Lori says, I'm so excited to attend the line. I am as well, too. I'm really looking forward to it. And believe it or not, Lori, it's not about the food. It's about the friends. It's about the auction. We haven't done an auction in a long, long time. And Emily, I promise you, number one, that we're going to get back to doing these auctions every year, maybe more than once a year. And I have a feeling that I'm going to have a surplus of items. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go through these items this weekend, and we're going to use some for the auction over marathon weekend, and I'm going to put some to do an auction online. And we'll do an online auction specifically to benefit Make-A-Wish once again. So definitely stay tuned. Amanda says, I wish you could make it to luncheon and marathon to cheer you on. Amanda, I wish you could make it as well. Hopefully I'll see you in the new year. Speaking of New Year's, let's switch gears. New Year's, yay or nay? I'm not a sweets guy. I'm not a merch guy, despite what you see. And I'm not really a big New Year's guy. I have never really been a huge fan of New Year's Eve. There's something, I don't know. I sometimes get like a little somber on New Year, and I don't know why. I don't have any sort of New Year's tragedy stories to tell you, other than trying to juggle like being with my family and going to visit a girlfriend. It usually ended up in arguing with both of them, but that's beside the point. But I'm not a big New Year's guy. I'm really like, I would rather just stay home, hang out with family, play games, whatever. I've never been a New Year's party guy. I'm not a go into the city. I did Millennium New Year's Eve in Epcot, but I was with my family until they all bailed. And then I spent 3.5 hours just to get to the monorail. And in past years, it's really just been going over friends' houses and, eating charcuterie boards and playing some games and things like that. But I am not a big New Year's guy. But what about you? See, Courtney, same thing. PJs for me. It's for food and board games. I agree. We may be going to our friend's house. I might go in pajamas this year. Like I might just go in very comfy clothes. Kate says, all right, because of the somber feel. Like, so I'm happy that it's not me. Like, I'm like, because I've thought about this. I'm like, did I really have some sort of childhood trauma that made me sort of get all sort of like, and look, usually at my house when we haven't gone out, everybody's asleep before midnight anyway. So I don't watch the ball drop. I mean, I watch the ball drop. I don't watch like New Year's Rockin' Eve because I don't know 99.7% of the people who are on there. Half of them are wrecked anyway. So it's, and I don't even have like a New Year's tradition. Like, oh, we watch this. It really just is about the games and stuff like that. Yeah. So you find it a little bit sad. So you see, you are my people. We are friends because I'm a lunatic, but I'm not alone in my lunacy. I'd rather stay at home, says Deborah. Stay home, eat apps, gathered, right. Do our own dance party, board games. I'm going to leave the dance party stuff out. You don't want to see me dance. You don't want to hear me do karaoke. It's all about the Chinese takeout for dinner. Yeah. See, now you're talking. I think one year we went to a friend's house and she ordered like crazy amounts of like sushi and Asian food from one of our local like Chinese, Japanese restaurants, which was amazing. Beth says, I stay far, far away from Times Square. Deborah says, I was at the Millennium too. It was NVTS nuts. It was crazy. Pork and sauerkraut on New Year's Day for good luck. We used to do, I don't know if we're going to do it again. I don't remember if she's been doing it. And I think it's an Italian thing or a Catholic thing or a Catholic Italian thing. Lentil soup on New Year's for good luck. Because we're weird like that. It's all about, good luck and Malalokia and all that kind of stuff. So I think it was lentil soup on New Year's Day. Excuse me, for good luck. Elliot Wallace, what is going on, little man? I hope you had a good holiday, Christmas. I hope Santa, Hanukkah, Harry, your parents, whoever it was good to you this year. And that you were on the nice list and not the naughty list. I teeter back and forth. I try and do a couple of good deeds and get me back over the hump to get on the nice list. Tracy Cherry, one of those wonderful nurses that is working New Year's. Thank you for being there and sacrificing time with your family to help others. Tom says, I live near Times Square. I go there after midnight. It's like a big street party, really fun. Oh, I'm long in my PJs. Usually I'm by myself on the couch, watching movies or something, going to sleep. Elizabeth must have Chinese food. Elizabeth, what's your go-to Chinese food? Like, what's the one thing you have to order whenever you order Chinese food? Like, is it lo mein, fried rice, steamed dumplings, boneless spare ribs, bone-in spare ribs, crab rangoon? Like, what is your thing? So Giovanni says, yes, it's an Italian thing. All right, I thought so. Because sometimes my parents used to tell me this is a tradition, and I find out nobody else does it except us. Jennifer says, it's the kids and I, jammies, yummy snacks, good movies, and try to stay awake for the countdown. Yeah, usually in the past, I've had to sort of wake my family up for the countdown. I remember a few years ago, my wife was working at the hospitals, me and my two kids who were obviously much younger, and we sat outside and like had a little fire pit going and we're like roasted marshmallows and had sparklers, and it was like the nicest New Year's. Now they're like going out with their friends and it's fine. I get it. Jack Fussell, good to see you, man. Jack Fussell, I just saw a post of yours on Facebook. For whatever reason, the algorithm has hid you for a long time. I decided to show you, and I was thinking about you and hope you are doing well. So Chuck Munson, don't worry about being late, brother. The fact that you're here is what I appreciate. Jacob, I do remember beaver tails in Canada. I am not a sweets guy, but I did enjoy a good beaver tail for the time that they were here. Let's see. Going to the Italian club, basically a wedding with 300 people and no bride or groom. Yeah, I'd prefer not to even like get in the car. So usually if I go to a friend's house, like it's somebody who lives very, very close. So Kira says we have a Lithuanian tradition where we have to run to the back door to let 2023 out and to the front door to let 2024 in. We bring in bread, salt, and a few dollars from the front porch for good fortune to the New Year's. I love that, right? So I love hearing about different traditions. So years and years, long time ago, in a galaxy very far away, I was in a very long-standing relationship with a young lady who was Colombian. Her family was from Colombia, and I'm going to get this wrong, but I remember I was there for New Year's once. Again, fought with my family because I had to leave my family to go to her family. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's part of the trauma, but it's New Year's and they hand me a bunch of grapes and they're like, yeah, you eat. Like, I think they gave me like 13 grapes. I think that and somebody fill me in if I'm getting this completely wrong. It was like 12 grapes like for the past 12 months and then one grape to sort of for the new year. I don't know. It was a lot of grapes. I had to eat a whole lot of grapes for good luck, whatever it was. Nadine Kuntz, do you know the 12 grape thing? So Tim Brown. Okay, so I'm not all that completely crazy. Not everybody in the household spoke English. So I think a lot of it was literally lost in translation. So I don't know. We used to do grapes with the countdown. So it's not a Colombian thing. Okay, my wife is Cuban. That's hers. I don't think Lisa is Colombian or Cuban, and they do the grape thing as well. Now, Lisa, I've spent New Year's at your house. Never did I see a grape, let alone 12. So if we're doing New Year's this year, I'm expecting a lot of grapes. So is it the 12 grapes for the 12 months that have passed, or is it 12 grapes for 12 months of good luck going forward? I just want to make sure I get the context of the graperies if and when I do indulge in them this year. We put Bess says, Best Hour. Oh my gosh, Best Hour. God, I haven't seen Best Hour. Why do we not get together for a coffee or something one of these days? We live so relatively close. I'd love to catch up to you. Bess, I've known Bess for a long, long time. She used to run an amazing event here in Central Florida, was incredibly generous to me a long time ago, giving me an opportunity to speak at her event. And did I keynote one year? Doesn't matter. But so Bess, she says we spend one New Year's Eve in Cusco, Peru. They carry their suitcases around the town square to signify traveling into the new year. It's so wild. The literal things that people do and the symbolic things that people do. Tony says we put pennies on the windowsill and give one to each family member for good luck the next morning. You better make sure you have enough pennies because you can't. I'm assuming you can't just like Venmo somebody. Like you have to literally give them like real pennies. According to lore, the forward movement of pigs when they root around for food on the ground signifies a moving forward trajectory in life, and thus pork is a favorable meat to enjoy to start the year off right on the right track. Michael, so number one, I've never heard that. Two, I love the keep moving forward aspect of it. And three, pork is always a favorable meat any time of the day and or night or time of year. I never heard that about the movement of the pigs. Husband plays video games while I watch movies, enjoying assorted finger foods and waiting on any of my daughter's friends to call to see if they need a ride home. Rebecca, it's nice to know that they have somebody that they can call. So they've got that person that's not going to, like I tell my kids all the time, like, you can call me, you need help. you like no questions asked. Like you need a ride, you needed something, you'd never have to worry. Like parents, always reassure your kids that they can call you. And I don't need to lecture anybody about being a parent because I'm not the perfect parent. But like I've always been like, you need anything, you call me anytime, no questions asked. Let's see. I'll get grapes this year. You're gonna eat a lot of grapes. So Chuck Munson, I don't know what any of those words are, but they're in Lithuanian. I can't even like try to pronounce those because there's letters I've never seen before. Jack Fussell, yes, we'll catch up. Best hour, we will definitely do coffee as well. Jennifer always does the 12 grapes at midnight, and again, it's for the 12 months ahead. The 12 grapes, that was the first and only time I ever heard it. And again, a lot lost in translation because despite my best efforts, I did not speak Spanish. And they were not super strong in the English language. So there was a lot of soccer on. That's all I remember. And Jonathan Embry, good to see you, buddy. Your New Year's Eve tradition. I was going to say you're in the restaurant game. Sharon says, that's how we roll in Texas. Lots of homemade jalapeno cornbread sticks. Hey now, that's a tradition I can get behind. That is absolutely a tradition I can get behind. Are some jalapeno cornbread sticks. Sparkling apple cider at midnight and a Disney countdown. We also play Italian cards for money. And as there's champagne, we drink homemade wine for the prosperity. So what are Italian cards? We've done poker before. I'm raising a household of like gambling degenerates because I taught my kids how to play poker like for money at a very young age. And my son got a new poker set. One of the gifts he got this year was a poker set, and he like plays. Listen, poker is the worst thing he ever does. But what are Italian cards for money? My mom always made black-eyed peas. I don't like them because they taste like dirt. She made spinach squares, which I ate a ton of. So Mary, we take down our tree. We're not like super strict with it, but we usually wait until the Epiphany in early January. So our tree usually stays up until like the second week of January. It varies depend on like travel and kids and things like that. But that's usually, I know some people like December 26th, the tree is like down and they're in full Valentine's Day mode. We sort of wait for the Epiphany after the first of the year. Scopa and 7.5. I've heard of neither of those two games, but now I'm very curious. Brian says he's waiting for the next Beatrice Dennis. Why don't we why haven't we done that? Why have we not gotten together for family and friends poker night? Let's get some Chinese food or some pizza or both. It's fine. And we'll do a poker night one night. In the new year, let's make that happen. Let that be our Christmas gift to each other, is getting together with some friends and having poker night. Paul Hoffman says we usually take down the tree around New Year's Day. A lot of Epiphany, a little Christmas. Elizabeth, I take mine down fast. I need to go in the year clean. I have 5 Christmas. Oh yeah, you've got a lot of Christmas trees. You got a lot of Christmas tree action going on there. Giovanni says, I'll teach you with a bottle of homemade vino. You had me at all of it. And I'm obviously will need some good food as well. Christmas specific decorations down after the Epiphany. Snowmen decor can stay out. Snowmen can stay out until March 1st. Kelly is like extending the season until all the way out until March. Steve Williams, Merry Christmas, buddy. My tree is up until the Epiphany as well. It's also the first day of Mardi Gras season. Steve Williams, big NOLA guy, big LSU man. Chinese food and pizza, poker night, we're in. I dig it. Married Wells, I have 18 trees. Mary Wells, please, I'm serious. If they're still up, take a picture of your trees and post them in the clubhouse. I'm fascinated, slightly frightened, also fascinated. Jen says, Christmas decor comes down on the 26th. Our tree stays up with just the lights until January 6th. There was a part of me that wanted to start taking some of the extraneous decorations down because I'm like you. Like, I like a neat and tidy house. My family has multiple words and names for me. It's fine. I do like things neat and tidy, but yeah. Tree comes down January 1st. Nativity stays through the Epiphany. Yeah, we also have a nativity scene. Baby Jesus comes out Christmas Day, Christmas Eve around midnight. And then we usually keep that up until Epiphany as well. Wade Anderson used Marathon Weekend's a good sort of way to sort of, because that's it. It's January 6th this year. So, yeah, a lot of people want to see Mary Wells' multiple Christmas trees. Like, what does your garage look like? Or do you have like a storage unit just for the Christmas stuff? Because I'm now the neat freak in me is like, wait a minute, what? Because she must have an entire like bay of her garage just dedicated to Christmas. My garage is the bane of my existence. Like I'm literally sending my family away for the weekend so that I can clean out the garage when they're not here. I go through it doesn't matter. This is very much a psychiatric session with me. Linda Lammers is still recovering. And, when you guys talk about recovering from the cruise, I think it has a little bit of a negative connotation. You mean recovering in the best possible way, not recovering like you're in traction, you're in therapy, you're waddling around the house, but recovering in that it was such a wonderful time that you're getting back to some semblance of normalcy. Mary Wells, wait a minute, 30 bins and 17 various boxes for Christmas trees. Fascinating. I want to see all of it. Mary, I literally need like a multi-part Netflix series of the whole Christmas process, from the packaging to the packing to the unpacking, because it seems like it's a lot. It's probably spectacularly beautiful, but there's also a huge investment of time. Lori says, right. I'm suffering from a lack of sausage and being served all 3 meals. Yeah, Lori, I do get it. Lori, who is not just an amazing, by the way, advisor for Mouse Fan Travel, but a longtime good friend. Like, don't tell Lori, like, I love her and Angelo and the Hoffmans, like, with the entire scope and breadth of my heart. But man, we had a good time on that cruise. And I'm not sure that anybody has more fun than the Oliveris and the Hoffmans. People that came together through this family and now vacation together. I have a 32-gallon tote full of Lego. Does that also counts? But I will see your 32-gallon. So my son loves Lego. He's been building for years. He's got a ton of Lego. He's doing the Back to the Future car, I think, now. And this kid begged. He begged for a Lego. Like, he's like, Dad, I know it's expensive. I know it's huge. I know it's ridiculous. He's like, I'll save my own money. I'll contribute to it. Like, I'll send money to Santa. He wanted the Venator, the Star Wars Venator, which I think is 6,000 pieces. It's like 5 feet long. It's huge. And, he's a good boy. He gets good grades, and Santa. I don't know. We're going to need to literally like clean out the guest room just for the Lego Venator. So, Kendall, you have over 100 Lego sets? I thought my brother was a lunatic with the Lego. Kendall, now I need to see a photo tour or video tour of your Lego sets. Like, I'm assuming that they're all still built, and like, do you craggle them together? And I'm not being funny, like, because 100 Lego sets, even if they're small, It's a lot of Lego, man. Like, where do you put them? How do you dust them? Now the clean freak in me is like, how do you like clean? Please, I'd love to see where and how you have all of, oh, you don't keep them up. So you build them. Wait, this is fascinating. You build them and then you take them apart. I don't know that I could do that. Like, that's the problem with Lego. Like, once you build them, then you got to like display it somewhere. My son literally is building shelves in his room right now. So if there's a giant crash through this wall, it's my son's shelving units falling over. Chuck has old school 1960s Legos. Somebody needs to start a thread in the clubhouse. Like, show me your Lego. Like, Lego my ego, but show me your Lego. Show me like your Lego collection, where you store them, your favorite one, your vintage one, whatever it might be. And if you live in the Orlando area, or if you ever come down, MegaCon is a great event. It's a great fandom. It's a lot of anime and stuff too, but a lot of artists and celebrities. They usually have a huge, huge area dedicated towards Lego displays. And some of the things that they have there are remarkable. Go on Instagram. I have no horse in this race, but there's a dude on Instagram called Kraggle, Kragle Creations, who's built Magic Kingdom out of Lego. Kraggle Creations, very talented, a lot of free time on his hands, but really, really, really amazing work. You could build a city with all those Legos. Lego are not fun to dust. You're doing a tradition of Lego Christmas Village. Oh, I like that. I like that. We have so many departments. Just so you know, if you're a Department 56 Village collector, like, I'm being serious, we had so many over the years. Like, when I first got married, we went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and just don't have the room. After the holidays, I'm going to be selling a bunch of our Department 56 villages. So if you're interested, I'll make sure I post it in the clubhouse. I had to buy the case to put the AT-AT in, because every time we touch it, a piece is. That's what I'm worried about for the Venator. Like, I think we need like a hermetically sealed case for it, because it's huge. Lori says, want to see my Legos? That's such a nerdy pickle. So Lori, I'm going to teach you something. You never say Legos. The plural of Lego is Lego. And I don't really care, but the Lego people, they'll get very upset. So Lego. There's no S at the end of Lego. Jacksonville has a Lego event. I think there's a Lego event in Orlando. It might not be at the convention center. I'm sure it's called like LegoCon or something, but I'm almost sure there's one in Orlando too. Jenny Ellen, hello from Wisconsin, where it's probably a lot colder than it is in Florida. All of ours are in the basement except for the collectible ones like the Death Star, X-Wing, Atlas V. Keep next to the Hess trucks and comic books. We have Giovanni. I need to see this. Like, I need like video tours of these places and spaces and items in your houses. Paul Clark, as a kid growing up in the 50s, we had Lincoln Logs and Erector sets, but no Lego. Paul, I am young enough to remember both Lincoln Logs and Erector sets, although I wasn't very good with the Erector set. I didn't have that sort of engineering. There are a lot of nice display cases for Lego. Grace Courba, nice to see you as well. We could listen. I could talk about this stuff. All right, so just very quickly, there's a convention in Knoxville. Maybe why don't we do like a WDW? We should do that. Wait, we should do that. We should go to like, next time I go to like a con, even like MegaCon, which is the first weekend in February, maybe we'll do like a WDW Radio like meetup. A WDW Radio like MegaCon meetup on one of the days. And then if I go to any other ones, throughout the year. I'll try and do more. I'm definitely going to try and do more on the road events this year. I'm traveling a lot this year, which I'm excited about. So, and plus Knoxville, like, why not? Let's just go. Disney Fan One, hope you're having a wonderful season. You as well. Thank you for being here. So let's just talk about this really quickly. Let's talk about sort of our WWE year in review. I'll do a full sort of Disney year in the review, talking about what's happened in the parks, what has or has not happened, maybe on some of the big and small screens. But I was thinking, I sort of did a quick look at the calendar and some of the stuff that we did this year. But tell me, what are, if you have any, things that you remember from a WDW Radio perspective from the past year, whether it's an event that you attended, a cruise, a show that you remember, a meet of the month, or even something that just happened online, a social connection that you made. Because we did a lot this year. We had Marathon Weekend. I went to Disneyland in January. I'm almost sure we did a meetup while I was there. There was the House of Mouse Expo in January. We had our Italy ABD in March. MegaCon, the Fantasy, the cruise in the Fantasy in April. I had my Momentum retreat. I did and I still haven't had a chance to sort of, I'm saving it for something. My little sort of secret, I don't even know if I ever talked. Did I ever talk about my secret Imagineering trip to New Orleans? I'm sort of allowed to talk about it. We'll get back to that. I did a meet of the month on the road in Colorado, which was, I was out at a conference was it in Colorado? I'm trying to think. I went to a conference was it a podcast conference I went to, and we had a meetup out in Colorado, which I was like, nobody's going to show up. Maybe like one dude will show up. And we had such a great time in the hotel bar at, God, I can't remember what the name of the hotel that it was. The Wyoming ABD, got to take my daughter to Disneyland Paris, which is a trip I will never, hopefully she will never forget. Went out to Disneyland for the opening of Tiana's New York Comic-Con, Food and Wine Classic, the Very Merry Time Cruise. Like, I loved being able to do so much with, I hear banging in my son's room. God only knows what's happening there. The Bermuda cruise, says Elizabeth, me and Marion in France was, I will never forget that. Like, my daughter wasn't able to come on the Italy ABD. This was a gift from God. Like, it was, to have that opportunity to go with her and spend that time. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I don't know that she will ever realize just what that trip meant to me. Like, if it all ended the next day for me, that was it. Paul Hoffman, the cruise on the Danube, the Bermuda cruise, says Suzanne, the hike in Wyoming, Beatrice Dennis. I have nightmares about that. That hike was such opposite ends of the spectrum for me. Like, there were moments that I felt like I was literally going to die on the mountain. I was like, just go. Like, just pick up my corpse on the way back because I think I'm going to die here. But then there was that sense of accomplishment and peacefulness when we got to the top. It may have been a slight heart attack, but that was Wyoming was an incredible, incredible experience. Again, it wasn't about the place, it was about the people. Wyoming would not have been so meaningful, not just because I was there with my kids, but because I was there with you. Right. And I mean, you individually and you, like, collectively. Like, I've come to look forward to traveling as a group And when I travel alone, like it's weird. Like I like, as somebody who's sort of an introverted extrovert, an extrovert introvert. Wait, I'm an extrovert introvert. There's something about traveling together as a group that makes it so much more fun. Tim Brown, the dessert party for Luminous, the marathon weekend meetup, the Caribbean cruise in. Oh, Paul Hoffman, the meetup on Tom Sawyer Island. That was a lot of fun. We're going to do that. We're going to do that again. Suzanne says, meeting my pals at table 125. Episode 734, says Mark Kleberger. AJ from Disney Food Blog on the same podcast. Yahtzee, a lot of good feedback on AJ. I'm going to reach out to AJ and have her back on in the new year. Give me, you know what, if you have an idea, I mean, I have a few ideas, but now because I know you seem to enjoy it. If you have something that you'd like AJ and I to talk about on a future podcast, or Kendall and I to talk about on a future podcast, post it in the clubhouse or email me, lou@wdwradio.com. Kelly said, Italy and Wyoming. First of all, thank you for being there for both, and memorable weeks that I probably wouldn't have been able to do without you. I probably never would have been able to take those trips without you. Kira says, Momentum was truly one of the highlights of my year. I can't thank you enough for making it possible. What an amazing group of people. Kira, what I loved about seeing you there was not just like how frantically you were like taking notes, but how much you give. You give more than you receive, right? You give advice, you give help. It's part of what all of you do, whether it's giving advice in the clubhouse or just the way you are. Momentum is an extension of that, right? So many people are there, not like nobody's ever there in a what's in it for me mentality. It's what can I do for you? And then if I get something out of it, great. And that sense of giving and selflessness in that space and in the clubhouse is what makes you, all of you, special. By the way, I have been working on some new ideas, speaking of Momentum and the retreat and a retreat at sea and some other offerings that I want to make what I do. I want to be able to help as many people as possible. So I am going to be introducing some things in the new year that are going to make my desire to help you more accessible, both financially more accessible and accessibly more accessible. I'll have more information coming, hopefully very, very soon. So if I'll give you a hint. If you ever looked at the mastermind group and said, I need help, I need accountability, I need people who I can bounce ideas off of and get help from, but I can't afford to do it every month. I can't show up every single Tuesday night. I'm going to have something for you. If you're just starting out and want to do things slightly differently, I'm going to have something for you. These have been sort of ruminating in my mind for years, and I'm committing, and I'm saying this to you out loud. I don't know why. I do know why, because I want to be accountable to you to finally execute on these things that I've wanted to do for a long, long time. So my goal for 2024, in not just the Disney sort of realm, but in a business and life, is to do more to be able to try and help you. And hopefully you will give me the opportunity to do that. Anyway, let's see. Tom Free says, I love the episode about where we would sleep in Walt Disney World if we could sleep anywhere. An attraction so fun, dreaming about that. Beatrice loved the European. Beatrice, I say this to you, I've said it to your face. And I've been consistent since I first met you at Mousefest in 2005. We're literally coming up on 19 years. You radiate joy. I can't think of any of the words. Seeing you at those Christmas markets, seeing you on that cruise, seeing you wearing I know they're not lederhosen, but they're as close to lederhosen. I don't know what they were called. You were beaming. And I'm like, this is it. This is why I love doing these things, to see that reaction. So yes, it's true. The European Christmas markets was very much, I can tell, exciting for you. Chuck says we booked that as well. Our first WDW group cruise. Can't wait. We have our costumes ready and have a great idea for our door. If I can pull it off, can't wait to meet everybody. Chuck, thank you, man. I'm looking forward to that. You're talking about the Halloween on the High Seas cruise, October 21st to the 26th, 2024. And we also have our cruise on the Disney Treasure in February 2025. It's also going to be WDW Radio's 20th anniversary. I don't know. It's the show's 20th anniversary, although I've been doing this really 20 years as of 2004, because the book came out in 2004. So I'm not going to get all weepy, but hey, thank you for that. Let's see. So many WDW events. They start to blur together, just fun and laughter. Looking forward to this next year, what I could have with the WDW family. Jonathan, we have to get together too, man, for lunch or coffee one of these days. Kai, thank you very much, man. Wishing you a great new year. It's been too long since we run into each other. I agree, my friend. Jim hasn't been to a meetup since Port Orleans. I know I missed a couple of months. That's on me. I definitely, my travel and just work and life have gotten in the way. I promise to get back to that, hopefully every month-ish. Denise says, I love listening to the podcast, especially enjoy the enthusiasm in Italy. Denise, Italy had so much meaning for me, not just because I'm Italian, but because my parents never got to go there and because I got to experience it. My daughter wasn't able to go, but I got to experience it with, my son and my wife. So Emily is excited for Halloween. How about a momentum session for executives that are not entrepreneurs? Giovanni, send me an email. Give me a little bit more specifics in terms of what you are looking for. Because I do a lot of speaking to, businesses and executives and things like that, and ways that they can, for example, integrate lessons from Disney into their business and what they do in customer service. So, let me know specifically what it is that you're looking for. Maybe it's something I can craft and deliver. The golf cart tour at Fort Wilderness, that doesn't happen without Brian and Beatrice Dennis, by the way. Lizette, so good to see you. I haven't seen you in ages. You're always so kind and thoughtful. Appreciate your positivity so much. This is a community of positivity. Like we are, there's, I don't get to comment on everything, but I read almost everything that happens in the clubhouse. And, when I talk about sort of being a magnet for the kind of people that we want to attract, and you all have that. Like the clubhouse, this is not just about Disney anymore, right? It's about optimism. It's about positivity. It's about, just a community and culture of happiness and respect that is very unique among communities. And it's one of the things I'm so grateful for. Let me see. Oh my God. Chuck Munson, former New Jersey guy, Somers Point, exit 30, down on the Garden State Parkway. You're teetering on like Pennsylvania territory. Let's not even get into the Eagles conversation. Elizabeth, so excited for both cruises. Again, Elizabeth and Darren, like you guys were some of the, like, as soon as I saw you, as soon as I met you, like I knew we were fast friends, like happy people, enjoying every moment. Like every moment I can tell, like every moment matters to you in everything you do. Like you savor every second. And I love seeing that about you. The general feeling of the group is always my highlight. Kate, thank you for that. And again, that happens like because of and thanks to you. And I don't know why. I have no reason to say this right now other than the fact that it just popped into my head. But, and my hope is that at some point, if and when I am no longer around, for whatever reason, I hope that you individually and collectively continue the family and the community and the spirit and the camaraderie in the clubhouse, that you allow it to continue whether I'm there or not. Like, it's important for me. Somebody asked me this relatively recently. Somebody sort of in the space was like, am I ever going to sell WDW Radio? The answer is no. What is my exit strategy? I'm like, I don't have one. My exit strategy is dying, right? Like, I will do this literally until, and like, well, what happens to WDW Radio when you're gone? And I'm like, I don't think my kids want it. But my hope is that while, there may not be a voice on a podcast, I really, really, really hope that you continue this community in whatever form or fashion that it takes, because you've built something really, really special. And as we start to get older, when words like legacy creep into, at least for me, start creeping into my mind and my heart, you start thinking about those things. Right? We think about our kids and what's going to happen to our kids, and ensuring, my goal since the day that my daughter was born was ensuring her future. Right? That's all I cared about. Like, I was no longer on the table. It was all about my kids. And I, in a similar but different type of way, I feel the same way about you. Like, I want to make sure that this sense of community and the respect that you have for each other and this place that you can all call home. Like, I want this clubhouse to be able to go on somehow, however. Tracy Cherry here, Disney World Trivia friends still hang out. Tracy Cherry, you have been here since the very, very, very beginning. The names may change, the locations might change, but that's what I mean. The community and the people continue to go on. So you guys will figure it out. You'll figure it out somehow. So, what else? And was there any episode? And then I'll let you guys go, because I'm sure you have to get your New Year's plans ready or go play Call of Duty or something. Were there any shows this year? Any WDW Radio shows for you that stood out? Cindy says, well, I've been away from the box a lot this year. My box friends have continued to reach out, make sure I was okay. This is a family, and I love them all. You, Cindy, you are a very important part. All of you are a very important part of this family. Whether it goes on formally or not, friends that are made will. That is a great point, Jerry. But yeah, so were there any shows this year for you that stood out? I took a quick look earlier today. And like your children, right? You love every one of them. And I put, I hope you know that I put my heart into every show that I do, right? Sometimes the live shows are like this and they're just fun, but like every podcast, because I know it's going to exist out there forever, and because I want to keep to a certain standard, and I want to deliver value and entertainment and laughter and escapism and positivity and all those other things. Like, I almost said I care a lot. I give a darn about every single episode that I put out. I put my heart and soul and care into it, and I hope that comes across. But I think there's certain ones that I enjoy recording, and certain ones that I enjoy, that I really get excited to share. So let's see. So I love the show about Disney and the military. Probably my favorite this year. The Spend the Night episode was great. One of the cast members who created Alani, a lot of love with the Disney and military. Kevin Lively was such a good guest. Like, he's just, because he's a good dude. Like, Kevin Lively is a good guest because he is a good dude. Loved the Italy ABD recap. Amanda, we do need to go back to him. Amanda Bonner from meandthemagic.com, by the way. Listen, I am one of these people. You should go and check other people. I mean, come WDW Radio first, but go check. Amanda Bonner is Good People Doing Good Things at meandthemagic.com. She too does it for the right reasons, has such a warm and loving community, and does events and concentrates not just on solo travel to Disney, but travel to other destinations, because Me and the Magic is not just about the magic of Disney. It's about the magic that you create in the places that you visit and the people you go with. So go check out and subscribe, Me and the Magic. But Amanda, after the first of the year, I heard the Nomad Lounge menu changed again. So now we have to go back. Like Jack and Kate from Lost, we need to go back one day after the new year and the crowds have gone. Check it out. Shades of Green live show was the best show of the year. Any show that talks about Disneyland. Another love of Shades of Green. That was a lot of fun. That was, again, a great opportunity. Love the cast member imaginary interviews, the surprising Disney movies that impacted the Disney theme. So that one really stuck out for me, because I think it was such a, and the credit goes to Kendall. It was such a unique way to approach some films that don't necessarily live sort of on the surface. More importantly, how they impact our overall Disney experience. That was very much one that I had on my list. I also loved, let's see. So this year we introduced the archive show, right? And I think is the overall consensus, you still like the archive show. I think the top 10 Disney resort concepts was a lot of fun. Places to sleep overnight. Kevin Lively conversation was great. Top 10 moments in Walt Disney Company history, I think, was also just a very interesting, at least from my guest, a very intellectual conversation, which I liked, which is why it was a two-parter. And the Best of the Disney Parks Around the World is really a show that I waited a long, long, long time to be able to record, because I needed to visit all the parks first. And I think I know it was a lot of love for Tokyo. And yes, Walt Disney World is still my home, but it hopefully gave you a little bit of insight into some of the reasons to go to the other parks as well. Loved when we were walking around DCA after San Francisco opened. Yeah, I got to go to Disneyland in September for that. And I really, really, really like San Francisco. And Amanda Bonner, I'm going to respectfully disagree. Me and the Magic is all due to you. You want to talk about somebody that, I'm going to cry, Amanda, who believes so strongly in what she is doing and wanting to make something work and be successful and help other people. It's why Me and the Magic went through those iterations. It's why you had to sort of climb that mountain to get to this place. We were able to do so much good stuff, and why Me and the Magic is so successful and helps so many people and has such this wonderfully like loving and intimate community that continues to grow. That's all you, kid. That is all you. Amanda Bonner is the poster child for keep moving forward, for believing in this thing and not getting down and continuing to iterate and find your way while still being guided by your own personal North Star. So you're going to make me cry. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to cry at the end of the end of the year show. The one about the Disney soundtracks was fantastic. The show where I had my kids on was a top 10. I don't know. I had my kids on. 10 More Reasons to Visit Disneyland, maybe, were they on? 10 Places to Sleep Overnight. I know my daughter was on the Reasons to Visit Disneyland Paris show because she came with me. Keep the archive shows going. I will. Thank you. when you describe making olive oil in Italy with my son, from a dad perspective, man, the things I've gotten to do with and for my children, thanks to you guys, is incredible. Look, see a lot of love. A lot of love for me and the Magic. I love that. Trip recaps are always a plus for me, but the Destination D stood out because thanks to my wonderful wife, I was able to attend any archive show featuring Jim Korkis, and yes, an emotional sound that makes me cry. Yeah, there were additions this year with the adding of the archive shows, and I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this because I will fall to pieces. But losing Jim in July on the 28th was the Disney community lost one of its smartest, most caring and compassionate people. We, as a WDW Radio community, lost the voice of somebody who was not just an incredible storyteller, but just such a good person with a good heart, who never had it easy. And I think would have made Walt proud as a cast member, and even when he was not, because of how much he loved this company, and he loved gifting people with just knowledge about the company history and making people understand and appreciate more. Jim he gave with never an expectation of anything in return. And he was a good friend. So, sorry. Sorry. And it was fortuitous being able to have the archive shows so that I can make sure that Jim's stories and voice and work and contributions will hopefully never be forgotten. But yeah, Jim is missed. Jim is missed. Jim says, we feel the loss as well. Had the pleasure of meeting. He was always, and you know what, Jim, it's a great word. Jim was always a gentleman. Jim was always a gentleman. I'm really happy you chose that word for him, because he was. Jim didn't have a lot. Didn't have a lot of people who were close to him. I don't think Jim ever realized just how many people he reached and impacted in a positive way with the stuff that he did. He was a talker, man. I'll never forget. There was, when Jim and I recorded, most of the time we were not together, right, for one reason or another, and we were not together in person. And Jim didn't have a computer with a webcam, and I bought him one when he was in the hospital. I bought him a laptop and set up his laptop for him when he was in the hospital, and unfortunately it was too late because he never came back out. But when we recorded, I'm sure you could tell by the audio quality, Jim was on his cell phone most of the time, or sometimes on a landline. So it sounded like he was talking like this whenever we recorded, and we couldn't see each other. So we didn't have the visual cues. And I remember it was a time we're recording, And, Jim got very tangential. He would start telling a story and he'd go all over the place. And I'd be like, Jim, and I never got anything out. And at one point, literally, I'm sitting there and I had like my little paper, I'll never forget, I had my paper notes. And I was like, yeah, and Jim, and he just kept talking and I just threw my notes up and I'm like, I'm just going to sit back and let him go. Because and I wasn't mad, right? Like, that's just the way, like, that's where Jim excelled, just put Jim up in front of people and just let him go. And Jim never had a note. Jim never had a note. And he had this remarkably encyclopedic knowledge of the company and animation and history and the individuals and dates and places that just like his sense of recall was crazy. Even in his last days, I went to him and I bought him a laptop and I went to his house and I got all the stuff off his computer and I cleaned it up for him and I organized it and I put it on a laptop and put it up in the cloud and I was trying to help him. Jim was not the most technologically advanced person in the world. And we were chatting about stuff and Jim was going through a hard time physically and emotionally, but his ability to just sort of like rattle off information and I'm one of the last times I saw Jim, I went to see him. He was in an extended care facility. And this poor guy, man, I said, what do you need? I said, what do you want? And he's like, I want Arby's. I want Arby's and I want curly fries and a large Coke and Reese's peanut butter cups. And so I snuck it into him and I sat there and I watched him just devour and enjoy this. And I sat just in the chair and we just had, just such a lovely conversation that I'll never forget. Just he and I, about everything and about nothing. And he was a good person. Jim was a really, really good person. I wish you, if you never got to meet Jim or talk to him, I wish you would have gotten the opportunity. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I should have pushed more to have Jim, come to events or get out more. But hopefully through the show, sorry. I don't know why I brought up Jim Korkis. I knew this was going to happen. Anyway. Yeah, I remember he was excited about that. There were some times we did live walking tours. And again, the guy he didn't have a single note with him. Didn't have a single note and could just go off like, yeah. So, yeah. Jim had some not so PG jokes at times. There was a couple I never really had to edit anything out, but there was a couple times I'm like, maybe this sentence could be misconstrued. Maybe I should just sort of trim this out a little bit. And I would have like little sticky notes. I'd be like, 3 minutes, 18 seconds to 3 minutes, 45 seconds. Just cut that. Just don't want any sort of things to be misunderstood. And yeah, Jeff, I hope at the end, I hope that now he knows, and I think he does. I think he knows just how much he was appreciated. So, yeah, he was a good dude. Jim was a good dude. Jim always believed in me. He was a good friend. He was always supportive of me. Yeah. But yeah, imagine how different recording with him is. Yeah, recording with Jim was always very different, and not having those visual cues and knowing that, And I remember there'd be times I'd be like, all right, Jim, this is where we're going to do it, right? We're going to go back and forth. I'm going to say one and then you say one. And I'll be like, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Corcus. And then boom, he was off to the races. And I'm like, no, and I never even got to sort of set up. But that was Jim. That was Jim. Jim just like, he was like the Robin Williams, man. It was like free association, and he would just go off and do his thing, man. But that was the beauty of Jim Corcus. So anyway, sorry about that. I did not mean to get all, whatever. But that's what Jim and that's what you and that's what this community mean to me. And maybe because it's the end of the year and New Year's Eve is coming, I'm a little more, sensitive to all that. But you need a live dining room with Tim, Samantha, Brad. Tim is not what I would call an eater. Tim is not an adventurous eater. He's coming down again, I think in a few weeks, and we're going to get together. He was here for a little while over Christmas. I saw him one night just for a little while. But yeah, I'm not sure. We could try it. I'll try and see if I can maybe get Tim and some other folks because to participate in a live. It might just be interesting purely for entertainment value. There might not be any actual value, but just for entertainment value, we might be able to get something out of it. But look, as we start to come to the close of this year, I'm going to keep it short and I'm going to keep it sweet, and I'm not going to get all whatever I do. Like with all of my heart, thank you. When I say that this may be the best year ever, it was. And I could probably say that after every year. And I hope next year is even better. But the things that we were able to do as a community, the gifts that you have given me with your time and your friendship and your love and your hugs and everything else mean, I don't know how else to say it. Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, everything I have is thanks to you. And like, please take pride and happiness knowing that what you do has made one person very, very, very happy and very grateful. And hopefully I'm able to sort of bounce that back and then spread what you give me to other people in terms of the joy and the distraction and laughter and positivity and all those other things that I want this show and I want this family and I want this community to be. Please, 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 please tell me how I can make things even better, the community better, the show better, the nation better, any and all parts of what we do and what I do is for you. So if there's a way that I can improve, I won't know it until you tell me. So if there's something you want to see that's new, something you want to see more of, something you want to see less of, let me know. Just email me, lou@wdwradio.com. You don't have to worry about putting it in the clubhouse. You don't have to worry about, just be nice, just be constructive. That's all I ask. But tell me how I can make this better for you. And if there's anything that I can do for you, just even individually, personally, please reach out and let me know. I don't want to spend a lot of time sort of feeling like I am plugging a lot of things at all, but I do want to just quickly remind you about our Dream Team lunch on the 6th. Again, Friday morning, ticket sales are going to go away. There's only 5 or 6 tickets left. Anyway, don't forget about our cruises coming up next year. You can get a quote by going to www.com/cruise. Of course, I don't know if Becky's still here or if she's under the dentist drill. All this is thanks to, in huge part, to Mouse Fan Travel. Becky is more than a travel partner. She is a friend, every single travel advisor. I know a lot of you, a number of you are in here. I am super, super grateful to you and for you. Same thing for the nation. This show cannot survive. It does not happen without your support. I'm working on some new things for the nation as well. So if you're interested in joining the nation, you can visit WDWRadioNation.com. You can help the show for as little as $1 per month. I'm sure I'm missing other things, but so many of you have given so much to me and to the community and the clubhouse, and I am super, super, super grateful to each and every one of you. All I ask is that at the end of this year, at the beginning of the new year, to please help spread the word. I don't advertise the show. I don't pay to run ads because I want people to come here for the right reasons. I want people to come here because their friends, you, say to somebody, I think, whether you're a big Disney fan or just looking, I think this is something you enjoy, and then invite them to be part of the community. That's how this grows organically. I don't care about the numbers. I'm not trying to be the biggest or the most this. I don't care about, those having EST at the end of anything, but I just want people here for the right reason and a place that they can call home and to let our family continue to grow. I'm sure that I'm missing something. I don't know what it is. It doesn't really matter at this point. We'll pick things back up at the beginning of the year, but thank you again for everything that you have done. Wait, why was Jingle Bells playing there? That shouldn't have been playing at all. Wait, let's play this instead. Let's play this from Dave Rashoni, my buddy. I don't know if Dave's here. The man who WWE wouldn't exist without the WWE Radio theme song. So Dave Rashoni, this is his Princess Medley. You can go to DJR Music to find out more from him as well. So thank you. I hope you had a great holiday. I hope that you have a very safe, happy, healthy, and blessed New Year. Be safe, be smart on New Year's. Share some of your photos of your Lego, of your tree, of your New Year celebration. And I look forward to everything that 2024 and the years to come have for us in store. I love you from the bottom of my heart. And I really appreciate you. So, thank you. Happy New Year.